What is up, everybody? Welcome to Crunch Time. You know the drill. We're talking to NBA, and we got two of the sharpest minds in the industry helping you to navigate those hoops streets. Got Beer Makers fan in the house looking fresh with the white hoodie, and then the Tigers cap with the white D looking good, my man.
Oh, we're out here doing our thing, so appreciate that, Ross. You got the I don't know what color shirt that would qualify
baby
as.
Blue. It's that baby blue, that heather blue. It's my color. That's what I do.
With the hair looking fresh. I mean,
well, got that fresh cut today as well. Thank you.
See?
Thank you, Beer.
Got it.
I got
you
it.
You look good, play good. That's the rules.
That's the move. I've got it for another 2 years, and then I think we gotta pull out the Bic and get rid of it. But then I'm gonna grow the goat like you, get the full beard.
There you go.
It's gonna be a good look. Kirk D's in the house as well. What up, man?
You should just go to Turkey and get a nice little fresh new hair set with when they.
Didn't like Landon Donovan. People try that, and then a year later, it doesn't work. I don't want to do that.
I hate to go off topic. I love to go off topic, but I have a friend who got a hair. He quit midway through because it was too painful for him. This was like a while ago when they sewed the hand, and he looks horrendous. So he's got like the Homer Simpson, like he's got like really thin hair where he would be bald, but like not enough for like it. Like, dude, you look worse than you would be bald.
Like one stripe of thick hair where it was transplanted, and the rest of it, that's tough.
He likes to remind me that luckily I'm rich, so he doesn't care. That's what he always says.
That's how I feel. Luckily, I'm married and I have 2 kids. So what do I really need hair for these days? Anyways, hey, we're not here to talk about that. Kirkwood, did you hear about my GPP takedown?
I heard you won. I didn't hear yesterday. I heard you won opening night.
I did. Did you hear that had I put it in the $5 tournament, I would have won $200,000 and I was too cheap to do it?
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah. We did this whole bit yesterday.
Yeah.
But if you want to pile on, I both don't want Roth to feel too bad. Also, like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Put it in it's not a $500 tournament.
Right. In my defense, I didn't realize that the big tournament was only $5, and I was entering as I was on the show, so I was just kind of scrolling and just clicking and entering whatever. Would have had $200,000. Instead, I got $100. But it's gonna haunt me. It's gonna haunt me for the rest of the season.
Let's be honest, Roth. Honestly, we've all been there.
Oh yeah,
that's
Say, you play long enough, we've all done it.
Yeah,
I've done it a lot of times.
The good news is we're just going to keep winning tournaments. I had a winning night last night, and we're going to do it again. It's another 2-gamer, which apparently is my specialty. Kirkwood, how are you, man? I said hello, and then I just talked about myself forever.
I'm fine. Don't worry about me, Roth. It's all right.
All right.
I'm here.
How's your squad? You got, your Celtics kind of down a man.
Yeah, that was a tough loss. It was a stupid loss. I thought they should have won easy, and they blew it. But you know what? It's kind of nice not having the expectations of being like the big favorite. So it's there's an asterisk this year. So it's like I can be happy if we win. If we lose, it's no big deal. It was expected. So that's good.
Positive mindset.
Yeah, but yeah, things are well. I'm just doing Beer and I see Beer weekly with Saturday morning or Saturday at noon. We do our Tournament Takes podcast. Football's been great so far. So, things are pretty good.
Okay, well, speaking of football.
The chat nailed it here, Roth. Roth, the best 2025 NBA DFS player.
It's true. The proof is in the pudding here. 2 winning nights and a GPP takedown. We mentioned some football. We do have an NFL show coming up because it is Thursday Night Football, along with this random 2-game Thursday basketball slate. And that starts, correct me if I'm wrong, at 7:30 Eastern. I believe, is when the football show starts.
Sounds right.
So we're going to clear out a little bit ahead of that, give the team some time to get ready, do mic checks, all that jazz. We're going to make sure that we are ready to rock for that as well. By the way, Edgecombe was awesome. Beer, not only did he put up DFS numbers, he looks legit.
Oh,
Like he was out there looking every bit a star already.
He looked great. So happy to hit on that one. Had him in the 6-pack. It's always nerve-wracking putting these rookies, putting your money on them, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But it's one of my favorite things to do in NBA DFS because the sites don't know where to price these guys, so they're generally pretty cheap. Always talk about getting out ahead of things. So appreciate that shout out, and yeah, he helped me win some money last night.
Yep.
KPJ crushed me last night. I had a great lineup, and KPJ getting hurt did not help me.
I didn't even notice that happened. We had Lana in the chat say, "Hey, it's Joker night," and night 1 was like everybody play Luka. Night 2 for me was I'm playing Wemby because I want dudes who can get me 80 freaking fantasy points.
Be good too. You guys see that game?
Yeah.
He's
It was unfreaking real last night. So everyone put that clip on Twitter. I watched it live, and I was in Discord, my secret chat. I was like, that's the best. I just watched the best 20 seconds of basketball that I've ever seen out of a player. He did the most ferocious block where he could have just held the ball himself, got it back. He ran the whole floor. Got the 3-point line, did a step back, drew the foul for the 4-point play. It was like just the most amazing sequence.
Yeah. He looked like a 6-footer with his handles.
Looks and so much better.
He's almost an 8-footer,
which is impossible. Like if he doesn't get hurt, we got to buy up as much MVP tickets as we can get.
Yeah, and he is more aggressive. Like physically, he is kind of putting his head down and dominating people and dunking on them, which is really fun to see as well. Yeah, he's freaking amazing, as we all knew he would be, but somehow surpassing expectations. Let's talk about today's slate. I don't even know if I finish. Obviously, I'm jamming in Joker, and then I'm figuring it out from there. But Beer, let's walk through the 2 different sites. We'll start on FanDuel. What are we doing over there?
I mean, 2-gamer, there's subtle ways to get different. We always talk about don't be afraid to leave some salary on the table. If you zero everything out, you're likely going to be duplicated, which, some people, they want to win $100 when they win a GPP. I'd rather win 200,000 when I win. So it's one way that you can get yourself different. I do think there are some spots where guys are going to be a little lower owned than I think they should be. So I generally don't go crazy. I like the 2-game NFL slates, the 2-game NBAers. I'm obviously playing, got some lineups in there. I generally don't go crazy on these 2-gamers.
Okay, good to know. Let's dive into it. Kirkwood, I'm going to let you start us off. Point guard, FanDuel. Let's work our way through the lineup, and then we'll kick it to DK.
All right. So we got a hefty 2-game slate here, which we've got little bit of injury news. Cason Wallace is out. That does impact the slate. We did see AJ Mitchell, even with these guys playing, get some decent minutes with high usage minutes. And now, granted, he didn't play a ton of minutes, but he absolutely got there. I think it was 14 minutes he played or something like that, 14, 15. But he had 30% usage when he was on the floor, which is a good sign in general, period. So he's not scared to go for it. That's what we want. They're also without Jalen Williams, so there's opportunity there. The problem is, and there's also opportunity on the other side on the Pacers, who are a new look Pacers this year. We don't have Miles Turner to block, to score and hold things down in the paint, and obviously Halliburton and his Achilles, and also TJ McConnell is with his tiny hands. He has I can't remember his injury, but he's got something. Well, he'll be out until Thanksgiving-ish. So anyways, so there's opportunity, but this game could also blow out. So out of the 2 games, this is the game that I, obviously with the 7.5-point spread for OKC, I do think will blow out more frequently. But you never know. So the guys I like from, obviously it's Shea, like Gilgeous-Alexander, if you can get him. He took the first half off the other night. He was brutal in the first half. He didn't do much at all, but he did get the benefit of was it double OT?
Yeah, double OT.
Yep.
Yeah. And did fine. I had a great AJ Mitchell lineup that was going, but unfortunately I had Shea in it. But he ended up getting there somewhat with double OT, but he should do a lot more. So he should be gung-ho. First of all, that's the ring ceremony. There's the ring ceremony hangover. Teams never do that well on the ring ceremony night for some reason. And he should be able to do whatever he wants. This is not the Pacers defense where we have to worry about him, attacking the paint. So, and it also should play a little faster than the other night. So, obviously, if you can get him, he's good. But you can still do him and Joker together. It's just a little difficult. There's one guy who it can make that happen for 3K on DK, and you can also do it on FanDuel, but it's a little dicey. But other than that, so Jamal Murray is just consistent and a little underpriced in general. I think Andrew Nembhard is going to have a monster role. They're going to need his D a lot in this game, but they're going to need him for offense. That without Halliburton on the court, these guys are struggling for offense. So the offense is probably going to come from Siakam, Mathurin, and Nembhard. And both Nembhard and Mathurin have a little higher variance because they can be off on nights. But also Mathurin is a bucket, period. So he can play bad for sure, but he's good. But Nembhard is just going to be, I think, pretty decent in this spot. Tons of minutes, whatever. And then there's Steph Curry. So and there's AJ Mitchell too at point guard, who should play more minutes than he played the other night after having such a good game and without Casey Wallace. So that's kind of the way the guys you pick from. And then I guess B-Pod, Brandon Pod. Beer. Help me out with the pronunciation. I always go to beer.
He's a Wisconsin boy, so I know this one. Pajemski.
Yeah, Pajemski. He's okay, but those are the choices, and you can't go any deeper than that. That's all of them.
Yeah. Okay. Beer. That was literally all the choices. Let's start at the top with SGA.
Yeah.
We mentioned he got there in double overtime. I want to say he was like 1 for 10 from deep last night. What was it? 2 nights ago. He was 1 for 9 from 3. He still scored 35 points. He shoots a little better. He certainly can put up a big game, but is that where you want to spend your money, Beer?
It is. I think he has ownership, but if he would have had a better game, I think this would be more of a priority for people tonight. So, not that Jokic is a bad play and Kirk nailed it. You can get both in your lineup. You're gonna have a lot of these 4K crappers, as old Dan Bach used to call them way back in the day, but you can do it. But I mean, he's showing very optimal and the ownership lagging behind that. So you always like to see that trend as well. So he's a guy I really like tonight. Mitchell, I'm a little worried about the ownership now with some of the injuries. He was a nice 2%er the other night. Tonight, now that Wallace is out, especially, it's putting even more of a spotlight on him. So I'll have a little bit, but I'll probably be under the field. He was good. He was aggressive. He was getting shots up. So I just worry that his ownership, it's going to be a common build with him in tournaments. So cash games, I think he's very playable there. Tournaments still playable. I'll be underweight. I like Jamal Murray a little bit more than Steph Curry tonight. Should be a little less owned, I would think, in this spot. And everyone's jamming Jokic. I don't know that they're playing both of them. So that's another way that you can go. But I really like spending here, Roth. I really like the pairing of SGA with Jamal Murray in my point guard spots.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Let's go to shooting guard. Beer. What are you doing there?
Shooting guard. I mean, this is a value position for sure. I mean, there's obviously some higher end guys you can spend on. I think Mathurin's going to be super popular tonight, and Kirk nailed it. He's a guy that can have big games. He's also a guy that can really disappoint. So out of Mathurin, Nembhard, I probably prefer Nembhard. Out of those two, I think he'll be a little less owned. Pajemski's not a guy I'm super high on tonight either. I think OKC you can go to here. We mentioned some of the wings being out. So, Lou Dort is known for his defense, but he may have to be a little bit more aggressive on the offensive end of things. Buddy Hield in the mid-range looked good the other night. Aggressive offensively, shot really well. So I worry about that a little bit if he can continue that consistency. So we'll see, but he's certainly in play. Probably my favorite in this range is Christian Brown of the Nuggets. He's going to play a bigger role this season. No MPJ there, so they kind of need that third guy, and we'll see if it's him or Johnson. But he looks pretty low owned, and I like his upside. So I like Christian Brown a lot. I like Nembhard, and I like Lou Dort are probably my favorite shooting guards here.
Okay, very good. Your thoughts at shooting guard, Kirkwood?
I just want to say a thought, too, that came to me from point guard. I mean, it's a pretty good night, I think, for the shooting regression for Shea, like you were saying, Roth, but also with Steph Curry. he shot brutally too. So you can play those guys both tonight. A little shooting regression going on. All right, shooting guard on FanDuel. Mathurin, if you're not playing him at small forward, you're playing him at shooting guard. He's just not priced for the role that he's going to need to be this season. And Nemhard, again, you can play him at shooting guard like him. Jamal Murray, like him. And then B-Pod would be my last guy over here. I would put Buddy I find a little bit interesting. I'm tempted. But I don't really know. Against Denver, I'm just not sure what the real ceiling is, but he could do fine. And Lou Dort, and people are going to want to play him as much because of the ankle, but he's fine. Yeah. He should be good to go. So it didn't look like much at all.
Okay, very good. Small forward, Kirkwood.
Small forward, Mathurin or Aaron Wiggins just should get. I mean, he killed everybody the other night. As he was 50% owned on FanDuel. Now you take Case and Wallace out, and it just has to be him and AJ Mitchell for the guys. But you never know what OKC is going to do. So, so when these guys get incredibly high ownership, there is always a case to come in under. But Aaron Wiggins, 4K. I expect him to get a boatload of minutes. I expect them, even if they're even in the blowout scenarios, to play still a good amount of minutes too as well. So Jimmy Butler was awesome. No one wanted to play him the other night because it was, people thought they would, limit his minutes a little bit. But, sorry, that's my dog. National TV Jimmy Butler is a guy you want to play. He played 35 minutes. He had great usage, 28. He had a good game. Looked awesome from the eye test. So yeah, go right ahead. And then, I also really like Jonathan Kuminga, either at small forward or power forward. I think he should get the start again tonight. I just think he's really good. Yeah. And this should be a bigger season for him this year.
Yeah, it feels like he's figuring it out a little bit. Yeah. Beer, small forward, what do you got?
I love Kuminga. And I'm really surprised on a 2-gamer at his ownership. So he stands out as one of them points to get different. I mean, yeah, he's going to be 28%. He should probably be closer to some of these other guys, 45, 50%. So he's a phenomenal tournament option. I brought up Christian Braun. You can use him here. Cameron Johnson, another guy that's likely stepping into the Michael Porter Jr. role. I mean, we have him projected for 32 minutes. Solid projection on him. He's another guy under 25% owned. So I think this is really a spot where you can get a little bit different. I do think Wiggins will be better. He's also going to be super highly owned. I already talked about Mathurin and his ownership. So this is a simple way right here, swap those two out, spend a little bit more here and roll with a guy like Kuminga, Johnson, or Brown. Naismith is fine as well. And if I'm spending, I really like Jimmy Butler. I mean, he looked so good the other night. This team has something to prove. He's aggressive. He's getting the free throw line. He is one of the premium spends for me tonight, but Kuminga really stands out as tremendous value here.
Yeah. All right, let's go to power forward. Beer, what are we doing there?
Power forward, a lot of the same names kind of carry over here. So I'll try to give you some different names here. Obi Toppin is a guy I really like. He can rack up quickly some stats. So minutes projection is a little bit lower than where I'd want it. But like I said, he can get things going very quickly. And they have a big void to fill here, not only offensively without Halliburton, but no Miles Turner. So who's going to step into these big men role for the Pacers? So I think it's worth taking some shots on all of these guys tonight, Toppin being my favorite. Siakam should be in for a monster year offensively, so he's in play here. Chet, I'm a little worried about. I think people are going to overinflate the other night and how good he was. I think this is more of an SGA game tonight, so I have some Chet. I'll be a little bit lower on the field. And then Draymond look like vintage Draymond. He's going to get you 9, 8, 7. He's not going to go out and score 20 points, but he's going to cover all the categories. So I think he's in play. I want to play Al Horford. I have a little bit because he's going to be so low owned, but 20-minute cap on Al Horford, it makes it a little bit tough for him to rack up too many stats. So few lineups, I'm mixing him in. Don't want to overdo it here, but wanted to get him out there. It's definitely a guy that's going to be low owned to make you different tonight.
Yeah, very good. Okay, Kirkwood, your thoughts of power forward?
I wanted your guys' thoughts on Chet Holmgren. Do you like him in general, period?
I do. I like his game. I like his game. Yeah.
So I can't stand him now for some. I like his game, but I can't stand him. So there was this commercial that Dean liked a lot. This underwear commercial that was always had Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and Chet. Do you know that they just played nonstop all last season? It just really bugged me. And he was in his leather jacket or whatever. But anyways, it makes me kind of not like him. But
all right. So you're not playing him because of an underwear commercial. Fair.
Yeah. But it's Aaron Wiggins, Jimmy Butler, Chet Holmgren. I mean, I think Chet's a great play. I would worry a little bit about his threes in this one because their least last season's Pacers mentality was like to stop the three at all costs. But if they're not as tough down in the paint either, so I think he'll be just fine. I like Kuminga, like I said. Siakam is interesting, tough matchup, but is going to be needed if this game stays close. He's going to be needed for everything, and if it does stay close, it's probably going to have something to do with him. So, those are my guys. I probably go underweight on Draymond tonight. I think Aaron Gordon. There's a lot of interesting lower owned plays here actually at power forward because I think Aaron Gordon could, on a national televised game, could be a good play. Cam Johnson looked awful in the preseason and didn't do much. But they got him in here to replace MPJ, so maybe he goes off. People aren't expecting it. Obi Toppin could see a boatload of minutes in this one. So there's a lot, and then two really low owned guys. J Dubs if the game's a blowout. Not J Dub, Jalen Williams if the game's a blowout, and he can rack it up on a fantasy point per minute basis. And Juris Walker on the Pacers might see more minutes than we're expecting tonight. We don't know. But also might see the blowout run too. And he's talented, and he's also got good. He can play every position. He can handle the ball well. So he's when we get to DK, he's min priced over there, 3K, 3,800 on FanDuel. I could see that working out tonight.
Okay, I was about to ask for a cheapie on DK when the time came, but I might plug that in right now. Okay, let's go to center. Obviously, you've got Jokic, but there are other options.
Yep. So he's not like a runaway optimal because he's 12-1 Joker on FanDuel. So it makes things really tough. So you can play Chet there. You can play Hartenstein there. You can play Isaiah Jackson, it should be the starting center for the Pacers. And OKC's had rebounding troubles always year in and year out. So a guy like Isaiah Jackson that people aren't expecting much from, he could put up some point rebounds and points in the quickness. So I do kind of like him for cheap. So it all depends where your stud money is going to go. So if you're fine not playing Joker, I would be fine totally playing Isaiah Jackson and taking one of the other studs. But those are the guys. Draymond maybe, but I'm kind of underweight on him tonight. But I don't think you can get. I mean, it's 2 games there, anything can happen, and like blowouts can happen. So like maybe like a J Val or a J Huff get more run or something, but can't count on those guys.
Beer, I thought I remember in preseason, or at least maybe leading up to the season, they had talked about maybe Joe Val would be getting on the court with Jokic. Is there room up in his minutes, assuming a tight game, like blowout, sure. But is there room up? Can he get 20 minutes, or is that not going to happen?
I think maybe against certain teams, you go against, say, a Houston who's running out a bigger lineup, things like that. I could see it. Golden State's kind of the opposite of that, where Draymond can operate as their 5. So maybe they want to utilize the size to their advantage offensively, maybe. But I don't know that it's necessary tonight. I think there'll be spots that you can certainly use him, but his projection tonight. I mean, we have 13 minutes.
Yeah.
Now he can rack up fantasy points very quickly. He's always been a good fantasy point per minute performer. So I'm just not going there tonight.
Okay. What are you doing at center?
So Jokic, when you can get him, again, I don't think you have to decide Shea or Jokic. You can pull it off. I'm siding with Shea over Jokic tonight. If you are going a little bit cheaper, we pretty much named all the names. I mean, Hartenstein is fine. Chet, you can slide in at center. I like taking shots on these Indiana guys, like I mentioned. So I mentioned Obi Toppin. Love the Walker call. Jackson is a guy that I'm going to be playing. I put some bets in on him as well tonight for his points and rebounds. So he's a guy you can give a shot at. one of these guys, Toppin, Jay Huff, Jackson, somebody's going to have to, it's probably going to be by committee early on, but somebody's going to separate. So I don't mind taking shots on any of these guys tonight. So Jokic, if you can get there, Chet's kind of the middle ground. I think a lot of people will kind of end up on. So going down to Hartenstein or taking a shot with Isaiah Jackson is what I'm doing in a lot of lineups.
Okay, very good. We're going to kick it to DK. First, though, I want to make sure everybody's getting the best deal. We mentioned there's football tonight. We're still in the middle of the football season. Basketball starting, hockey getting going as well. NFL DFS access. Get more bang for your buck. Forget just NFL. Get Combo Pro for a limited time. Get your first month of Combo Pro for $79.99. It's only $5 more than an NFL DFS monthly subscription. So you pay $5 more, you get all kinds of sports. It's elite value. And if you don't want to pay for a season long or a month long, you can do a 3-day pass as well. Right now, you're getting half off a 3-day NFL pass, access to everything you need to crush the slate, lineup HQ, player projections, ownership percentages, and more. It's $9.99. SimLabs, by the way, is included in that. So make sure you are checking that deal out if you have not already done so. And hit the thumbs up for us as we move on to DraftKings. Who led us off on FanDuel? I think it was Kirkwood. So Beer lead us off on DK.
So I really like Andrew Nemhard over here. He's priced pretty closely to Jamal Murray. So I think name brand, people are like, I can spend $600 more and get Jamal Murray. And it's showing in the ownership. He's almost double the ownership. Yet their projections are very close. They're separated by about 1.5 in projection. So I think he's a great tournament play over here at 6,400 at potential low ownership. Doesn't look like Steph Curry is going to garner a ton of ownership over here either at 9K. So I think he's in play. And one guy we didn't bring up, who I always have a soft spot for, is Bruce Brown. You can utilize him at point guard here. I would probably use him at shooting guard, which we'll get to, but he's only 4K. Another one of those guys that just comes in and puts up stats. Not a huge scorer, but kind of covers the whole stat sheet. So I wanted to give him a shout here.
Okay. Kirkwood, anything at point you want to mention over on DK?
No, it's just that you don't have to use Shea on DK, just like you don't have to use Joker on FanDuel. I do like him, but you can make some good lineups without him. AJ Mitchell, I love.
Okay. Shooting guard.
All right. I'm fine playing Lou Dort. The plug and play for me, I mean, whether it's shooting guard or small forward would be Mathurin, Benedict Mathurin. So I always had the same over on FanDuel. I like Nemhard at either point or shooting guard and Dort. If you want to go a little out there, the guy won't see much minutes, but Ben Shepherd is, kind of a guy who's going to be shooting threes when he's on the floor. May not get a ton of minutes, but will certainly have his opportunity. And if he's hot or if it's a blowout, maybe he gets more runs. So for 3,200, I could see that working out. But yeah, Beer, it's pretty much the guys that Beer said from over before for point guard or here in shooting guard.
All right, Beer, are you playing Dort? I've got him in some lineups. He was 0 for 8 from 3, which makes me optimistic that he's at least shooting them. Is there upside there, and are you playing him?
Yeah, he's known, the old Dorcher Chambers, known for his defense, but he's really evolved offensively. So I think you can play him, especially their down bodies. They're going to need some additional offense. Yes, SGA, Chet are going to carry the load, but he's a guy that he's taking them 8 threes. He hits 3 or 4 of them. You're loving life because he's going to contribute in some of the other areas as well. So absolutely in play tonight.
Yeah. Any other things you want to mention there at
we hit on a Nemhard is either position. So again, I like his ownership here. Christian Brown, we talked about him FanDuel. He's going to play a ton of minutes, so he's interesting. I'll add Gary Payton, the second over here, 3,600. Not going to play a ton of minutes, but another guy that comes in, gives you that energy off the bench. So 1 point you can get a little bit different. I'd rather spend up to Brown, either of the Browns, Bruce or Christian. But Gary Payton can be in the player pool as well.
Yeah. All right. Small forward, Beer.
Small forward. So I know Kirk's excited about Mathurin, but 60% owned is a lot on a 2-gamer. So I'll have some, but I'll probably be lower on that one. Wiggins as well. I get the appeal of it, but you got to find ways to get a little bit different. So I'm fine kind of avoiding those two and spending up. Jimmy Butler's under 50% owned. I mentioned Cam Johnson. in our FanDuel segment. I think he's certainly in play. Buddy Hield. So a lot of the similar names, but you can really save ownership here. I mean, Buddy Hield under 10%, Cam Johnson around 20%. I think you can get off some of that chalk at this position.
Yeah. Okay. Kirkwood, your thoughts on small forward, please.
Yeah, I think Mathern's going to crush both of those guys.
He probably will. That's hence the 60% ownership. But
yeah, no, I'm kidding. Yeah, it's all the same guys. I mean, the low owned plays would be like you said, Buddy Hield or Cam Johnson, or no one wants to play Aaron Nesmith, but he's gotten a lot better and will have much more opportunity this season. So I don't mind that at all. And I just wanted to make you less scared about Dort. Dort thinks he's Michael Jordan, Roth. So he will always shoot. Don't worry about that. It's just whether he makes them or not.
That's all I want. Get your shots up, boys. That's all I care about. Let's go to power forward. What are we doing there, Kirkwood?
All right. Chet or Jimmy Butler. Aaron Wiggins is power forward eligible. So all these OKC guys, there's a lot of ways you can, whether you're playing with small forward, shooting guard, power forward, you can figure all that out. But they're going to be mainstays of lineups tonight. Draymond, I guess. I just don't think the matchup is great for him. Kuminga. I love Kuminga on both sides. And don't be scared to play a little Aaron Gordon or Pascal Siakam.
Okay. Beer, power forward.
Obi Toppin, Roth.
Yeah.
As a tournament winner tonight. I'm calling my shot. And I love the ownership over here. 3% on Obi Toppin. You got it. So love that. Kuminga under 20% here. Again, you can avoid the Wiggins and some of that chalk there. I know Kirk brought up Jarace Walker. He's only 3K over here, so he's a great value. But Obi, yes, he's probably more expensive than we would normally like to pay, but 2-gamer, we can't be picky. Really like him and Kuminga in this price range and at their ownerships.
Very good. I thought I had some Toppin in, and I don't. So now I got to rework some things because I did want to get a little bit of Toppin in those lineups. So I will work on that. Let's go to center. Of course, again, Jokic and...
Yeah, I mean, again, it's kind of the same steps, levels. You can go down the Chet, you can go down to Hartenstein, and then you're in, tough territory here. So I will bring up Isaiah Jackson again, a little bit more expensive at 5,500. You can probably save a little bit of money if you want to take a shot on Jay Huff. I don't hate that. Williams at 3,200. All these guys are going to project for around 15 to 20, so they're not jumping off the page, but that may give you access to double expensive point guard, which I want to do. Spend up on Jimmy Butler, things like that. So yes, it sucks going against Jokic and not having him, and I'm going to have some. But I think some of these cheap guys could pop tonight, especially the Indiana guys.
Okay. Kirkwood, your thoughts at center?
It's Joker. It just gives you that massive floor and massive ceiling. Hartenstein or Chet would be the next best. If you really want to get crazy from some garbage time extra upside would be Jalen Williams. Isaiah Jackson's kind of tougher on DK because his price is just a little higher than probably it should be, but he could be fine. I do like him on FanDuel, like I said, but you could get away with it on DraftKings. But I think it's just focusing on Joker, Hartenstein, Holmgren. Those are my three guys.
Yeah. Okay. Gentlemen, we have 10-ish minutes until lock. Of course, we did mention we want to clear out a little bit earlier than that. Let's take some questions. And if you don't mind, I would like to lead off with the QQs. I've got a build here on DK where I've got SGA and Jokic, and I need some value in the util 3.9 or cheaper, not AJ Mitchell because I've already got him in.
3.9 or cheaper.
Util on DK.
So, and not AJ.
It's rough down here, Roth.
I know. It's
Walker or Shepard probably is, but you're going to leave some salary on the table.
You can't get to Lou Dort at 43.
I've already got him in anyways.
I mean, I think Huff or Walker just taking a shot on the, again, I expect somebody to emerge from this pool of Jackson, Huff, Toppin, and maybe it isn't tonight, but it's a good night to take a shot. So I'd say Walker or Huff.
Okay. We'll lock one of those dudes in. Are those both blowout plays? Because this lineup is not blowout centric. This is like
no, they're all going to get run, and maybe somebody has a hot hand. They stay in a little bit longer. You're blowout proof because they don't have a lot of bodies there, so they're going to rotate through these guys. So it's not a blowout play.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Let's see what else we've got. Jumping in the Discord, of course, and. Here we go. DK, GPP, Kirkwood, Cam Johnson, and Kuminga, or Mathurin and Gordon?
I just like the Mathurin Gordon side. I think Gordon will be a little bit light tonight for an ownership perspective. The other side is a much better ownership, but take the second choice I like better.
Okay. Beer, I'm coming to you from Falcor FanDuel. You want SGA, Dort, and Wiggy, or Murray, Braun, and Kuminga?
I'm prioritizing SGA, but I like that second group better as far as ownership goes. You're going to save a lot of ownership on that group. Kuminga is shocking to me that he's not more owned.
Yeah. Okay. Beer, Toppin or Brown, FanDuel GPP?
Christian Brown or Bruce Brown?
I think it was.
I'll just rank them. I'll rank
Bruce.
I have Christian Brown 1, Toppin 2, Bruce Brown 3 out of that group. Okay.
Very good. Kirkwood, is this a real person? Blink-182 says Furphy or Shepherd, and then parentheses, Furphy or Shepherd and Al Horford, or AJ Mitchell and Bruce Brown, DK Largefield.
I would just take the AJ Mitchell, and I would probably try to find someone other than Bruce Brown. But if you have to, Bruce Brown.
Who the hell is Furphy? What am I missing? What is Furphy?
He could be okay. He's on the Pacers. He's it's a stretch, but he's got some talent. So
it's not a nickname. That's his actual name.
No, that's his last name.
Oh, all right.
Murphy with an F.
All right, it sounded like a nickname. All right. Let's see what else we
projected for like 12 minutes.
Furphy or Shepherd, DK, GPP, punt, Beer. Who do you prefer from AK Boy?
I would say Shepherd.
Yeah. Dort or Brown? That is B Brown, Kirkwood. Dort or B Brown?
Dort
for sure.
Okay, scrolling up, seeing how we're doing here. Pretty good. We may have answered all the questions, and if so, we are going to bounce a little bit early. We mentioned we've got an NFL show coming up in 5 minutes. We got some football questions. I don't know if you guys have looked at anything. Your favorite captains. Your favorite captains for tonight, Thursday night football slate.
Kamani Vidal's too cheap, so he's interesting. We're kicking off National Tight End Week, so tight ends are interesting. And Keenan Allen has thrived against the blitz. He's been the best receiver of the Chargers against the blitz. We know Flores is going to send a lot of pressure. I think Keenan Allen will go under own tonight.
Man, Beer came ready for that question.
Yeah, Beer. I love doing a show with Beer. Beer's always on point for our football show too.
Because
he has to keep pumping out those fantasy bar content.
That's it, man. So. Always on the grind.
Keeps him on the know. Kirkwood, you got a favorite captain?
I mean the chalky Herbert, but or JJ Jefferson. I think they like Wentz likes Naylor in the red zone, I think, a little bit. So I think he could be interesting for a punt. I probably wouldn't use him at captain, but I think he's a decent punt tonight.
He's got a good connection with Addison too, so I'm not.
Addison is his boy. Addison is like he looks better with him so far than JJ.
Yeah, Jefferson's great, but Addison is a lot cheaper.
Slim says, "Why is my subscription canceled? I just subscribed October 21st for a month." I don't know the answer, but if you email support@rotogrinders.com, we have literally a couple of the best support guys in the world that are always on it. So shoot them an email and they will help you out and get it figured out for sure.
Well, we got a couple YouTubers. If we can rapid fire and then get out of here, we just want to make sure we get to everybody.
Good call. DKGPP. This is from Derek, Beer, Mather and Dort, or Mitchell and Pods.
I'm going to go with the first set.
Okay. And then Mr. Irrelevant says Kirk, Kuminga, Murray, or Butler and Naismith.
Kuminga, Murray.
Okay.
I do like both of those options. And I want to say one last thing before you say we're out of here. How fun is this? I mean, how crazy is this Chauncey Billups story?
Dude.
I've been going down. I'm up to date on everything. I wish we could talk about it, but
what a dummy.
I went down a lot of rabbit.
These guys are cooked, and it just keeps getting worse now. And they're talking about.
But like Billups is a Hall of Famer. Like he made a ton of money. He it was. It'll be interesting to see because Paul Pierce is in that world. He plays a ton of poker, but I was like, there's no way he's in on stealing people's money. Like he's the fish.
Is there a story around about how they were scamming people? Is that
so X-ray tables? They had...
A high stakes poker player talked about this years ago in 2003. It was like back in 2009. He was talking about on a stream. He's got a podcast about there was a high stakes game built around Chauncey Billups, and that there was 100% cheating going on. That like these guys who didn't know how to play, like all the pros got milked that were there. To like the fish, supposedly like Chauncey, like who were putting everything in on gut shots, which is like no equity whatsoever. Anyways, like just random dumb luck. It looks like,
but it
like,
kept working.
They came out. There's X-ray tables. They had glasses where the cards were marked that they could see what they had.
That's common, by the way. So those infrared,
so they'd have these guys come in. They'd come in and play with celebrities, so you're excited. I'm playing with Chauncey Billups, and in the meantime, they're scamming you all you.
Wow.
One guy lost $7 million. One guy.
But then there's also that's where like some of this talking about like because you're playing with these bets like where they probably came up with these ideas for the prop stuff to do, or like someone who owed a lot of money or something like that. So just crazy that Billups would be a part of it. Like Damon Jones, okay, whatever, but like. Billups,
Chauncey Billups, Hall of Famer with all the money in the world. This is going to sound crazy, but why is it illegal
to steal? First of all, the game. First, it's the mob. They got the mob and working in conjunction to scam people out of their money.
I feel like if you go to if someone's home game and it's high stakes, like they're trying to cheat you in every way. That's just
it's illegal. Well, a lot of it, it's built around like that's what this big like the big rich actors they like to come and play like where they have privacy and things like that. So it's built around that's how like the original concept comes. It's like a great spot for pro poker players to play against horrible players who don't care about losing a lot of money.
Right.
But like the fact that he went in with like the mob and like was cheating, but like in general home games. I don't play them. It's just always shenanigans going on.
Or there's a lot of money. There's somebody trying to cheat something. So
okay. Well, I'm glad that we had a little bit of time for that talk. We do have to bounce on out of here. We have an NFL show starting in seconds. So we're going to clear on out for Kirkwood, for Beer, for our wonderful production crew, always working hard behind the scenes. Guys, we appreciate you. We love you. And we will catch you tomorrow. You have been Kirk.